This is Andrew Hogue for andrewhogue.com, being Australia's only 24/7 rock metal radio station. And there's lots and lots of bands touring Australia these days, but when you want to put two heavyweights together, anything can happen. Whitechapel and Devil Driver teaming up for an Australian tour very, very soon, which is certainly a match made in heaven or hell, if you want to look at it that way, especially in the pit. We do have guitarist Alex Wade from Whitechapel on the phone, ready to talk to us all about the up-and-coming Australian tour and everything that's happening in the world of Whitechapel right now. G'day, Alex. Welcome to andrewhogue.com.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing super well. Now, obviously, Whitechapel are a hard-working band, and they're always out on the road. And, of course, you have been touring with your buddies Devil Driver, which, as I said, you're set to head to Australia very, very soon. Just, I guess, from the top, take us through how the touring climate is these days and how you guys are dealing with the influx of about 1 billion other bands out there as well, trying to, get the audiences involved and reactive.
Yeah, I mean, you just, you got to get out there and you got to tour and, you got to play in front of people. And, I mean, it just, the more you're out there and you're playing and you're touring, the more people are going to, notice what you're doing, and they're going to come out to your shows and hopefully tell your friends about your shows, and, they'll come out and support you.
Now, the band obviously kicked into their career right into the whole sort of digital age. The stats are pretty phenomenal when it comes to the band's, Facebook pages and all that sort of stuff. But do you find that doesn't always translate as far as people, going to shows or even, buying merch? I mean, a lot of bands, I think a lot of new up-and-coming bands see that as, that's our instant way for superstardom. But for a band, again, born into the digital age and being out there doing the hard yards, give us a bit of a reality check for some of those bands listening that it might not always translate the way it appears.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with social media these days, it's really easy for a band to blow up and, get a lot of numbers and, I guess kind of have people think that they're a big band. But, that doesn't substitute for, hard work and getting out on the road and grinding it out and, actually playing shows in front of people. I definitely think that that kind of stuff does a lot more for a band's career than, how many people are looking at what they say on Twitter. Because, I don't know, it's just, in my opinion, there's bands that have 3 times as many followers as us on Twitter, but they're not going to play over us because they're not a bigger band.
I remember I spoke with Greg and Ben from Dillinger Escape Plan earlier this year at Soundwave, and we talked a bit about the whole sort of social media these days and the fact that, they sort of mentioned that, more people should actually go to shows and sit there and watch them on YouTube, because again, like I mentioned, the stats are pretty high with some of these bands playing in a barn to 20 people and there's about 1 billion views. And it's like, well, if everyone's happy to watch it that way, I mean, why aren't they getting out there and actually going to watch the bands in the flesh? I mean, we're in a world with so much more distraction. What do you think really makes a good live show enough for people to actually want to go?
Production, really, I feel like. I mean, a band can get up there and can play music, but that can only be so much. You have to really have a visual aspect to the show, too, whether it be your lighting or your stage setup or, you have ego risers or what you're wearing on stage or, there's several different factors into it. So, I mean, we always just try to give our fans the best show we possibly can, with the budget given.
Have you guys thought about ego ramps and everything else to, step up the Whitechapel live show on a visual aspect?
Yeah, I mean, we do it every now and then, not on the same level as, Rob Zombie and Rammstein and Slipknot and all these crazy big bands that, have that kind of production. But, we've definitely been trying to slowly incorporate that kind of stuff into our live shows to make them more interesting.
Now, of course, the latest record, Our Endless War, is just another massive step up for the band and the band's sound as well. And as we mentioned at the top about how, the band competes with lots and lots of other bands, to me now sort of adopting a lot of influence from Whitechapel. And how do you feel about the whole segregation of the scene if you get sort of lumped into a category, which a lot of people throw Whitechapel into the deathcore sort of scene. What's your view on the way that seems to be lumped in today when the band's really trying to push to get its own sort of sound and identity?
Yeah, I mean, people can refer to us whatever they want. I mean, if they want to call us deathcore, that's fine. But to us, we're just a metal band. Like, when we sit down to write a song, we're not like, let's write a deathcore song. We just think, let's write a metal song. We're all 28 years old now. And, like, to be completely honest, deathcore is not cool to me. It's like, that's not what I want to be playing. It's not what I want to be a part of. Like, we're much older. I would consider us mid now, so we're just, we just play metal, and we just try to write heavy metal songs that any guy from the age of 50 to 15 can, get behind our music.
Well, what I've found, I've caught up with the Suicide Silence guys I've known for a number of years, and it almost seems like no matter if the band says we aren't a certain style, it seems like it just gets ignored because the media runs with it or fans run with it, and most of the bands have no say. They said they don't even know what deathcore is in the sense of the word, and they've said the same thing, that you're just a metal band and that's what they're into. But it seems more today that music categories get lumped in because of an image of a band as opposed to what the music is really all about, and it really shows that a lot of bands don't have a say in it, no matter, even like you just said, that, you're not into the deathcore or whatever, you do what you do. It seems even when it comes from the horse's mouth, it gets ignored. I mean, does that frustrate you a bit when people say, hey, we're with deathcore artists, Whitechapel or whatever, and you're sitting there going, well, we're not really deathcore, but either way, it seems like it has no impact even if you state that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, people are going to call us whatever they want to call us, so, we just refer to ourselves as a metal band. So,
well, like we mentioned about the tour going head-to-head with Devil Driver, and certainly a great matchup for, metal fans and the like. How do you find when you're playing against sort of bands, of a stature that have been around for a number of years and have really got their lives set down? Is there sort of a good vibe of friendly competition?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. I mean, we're all there for the same purpose, and that's to play music for a living, and so we get out there and we bro down, and, we never really, try to view things as a competition, because that's not the way the business should be. We're all friends. We're all there to play metal and play gigs, so.
Well, let's talk a bit about what your view is on the current state of the music industry, being a mainstayer in the game and out there, playing it. What do you see any sort of hints of changes? I know a lot of bands are using crowdfunding now, which has become a hugely successful result for a majority of them. What do you see the future is, being a band obviously on a label as well?
Yeah, I definitely feel like labels are still important for sure. I mean, crowdfunding is a really cool tool, and, we used it to fund our DVD, but I definitely feel like bands still need labels behind them that are backing them, every step of the way. You need a team that's working for you to push your record to make sure it's going to be successful. So,
all right, well, let's check out those tour dates. Of course, the first show kicks off on Friday the 5th of September in Brisbane at the Hi-Fi, Saturday the 6th in Sydney at the Hi-Fi, and then on Sunday the 7th at 170 Russell in Melbourne. Tickets are now on sale, and we can get you to say a couple of last words, Alex, to the Australian fans and what they can expect for these up-and-coming brutal shows.
Yeah, I mean, stoked to come back. We were really bummed we had to cancel Soundwave, so, we're really excited to come back and make things right for those fans, and, we can't wait to get down there.
Awesome. Well, we can get you to choose one of your favourite tracks from the latest record. Choice is yours.
Let's play Let Me Burn. That's my favorite song.
Alrighty, let's check it out now. This is Whitechapel. We've been chatting with guitarist Alex Wade from the band. You're listening to AndrewHogue.com. Thanks, Alex.
No problem. Thank you.